Alright y'all, today we're going to be working on this 2009 Toyota Corolla. We're going to be replacing the struts and the rotors. First thing we want to do is jack the vehicle up and make sure it is secure.
Lug nuts, 13/16. First thing I always do is lubricate all your threads. First things first, we're going to remove the two 10mm holding the ABS line on. Top one here was a 10mm. The one back here is a 14mm. 17mm to remove the stabilizer arm. Alright guys, we're using a 22mm on the nut side and a 7/8 wrench on the other side for the strut bolts. Remove both bolts. 1, 2. Let it hang. And that's it for down here. Now we got to move up top. Alright guys, you got 3 bolts up here up top above your strut. They are 12mm. 1, 2, 3. Other videos show you have to remove this cowl and your windshield wipers, but I don't see no need to. Always save this one for last, guys. Take your 2 back ones out first. That way it's easier to remove while you're dropping your strut out the bottom. Just drop it out the bottom, bring it out the side. There's your, always lay them side by side, compare them. Make sure tab, tab, brake line, tab, brake line, tab. Just kind of inspect, make sure everything's the same. Alright guys, you'll probably need 2 people for this. Lift your strut up, put your 3 studs through the holes, put your cap back on, then start all 3 of your nuts. Alright guys, after you start your 3 nuts up top, always come down here to the bottom and get my 2 big bolts started inside the strut. Alright guys, after you get your 2 bolts started in the bottom of the strut, do not tighten them down. You come up top first and tighten your 3 down up here first. Now that all these guys are tightened down, we're going to move down to the bottom. First thing we're going to do is tighten back down the sway bar link. Hopefully she don't move on me. She did wonderful. Next thing we do, take the 14mm bolt, put it back in your brake line and ABS line. Put your 10mm back into the ABS line up here. Tighten them down. Voila. Last but not least, tighten down your 2 bolts for your strut. This next thing we're going to do is replace the rotor. First thing we got to do is remove the bolts holding the bracket on for the caliper. Alright guys, after you remove your 2 bolts, slide the caliper off. I always set it up here. You guys will probably have a screw in holding it. These are missing, so I don't have to worry about that. Alright guys, just slide your new rotor on. If you have bolts holding it on, that's wonderful because you ain't got to worry about it flopping around. But if not, you just have to deal with it. So let it hang like that. Take your caliper, slide it on your new rotor. Alright guys, slide your rotor on, slide your caliper and brake set back on, put your 2 bolts back in, tighten her back down. Alright guys, everything's put back in, tightened down, you're ready to go ahead and throw your wheel back on. Alright guys, wheels are back on. Now we're going to move to the other side. Alright guys, it's the same exact process on this side. If you enjoyed the video, like and share. Catch you next time.